All right, let's just jump right in. For what feels like forever, we've been totally obsessed with managing our time, right? But what if we've been focusing on the wrong thing all along? We're going to explore a completely new approach for 2025, getting beyond the clock to master the one resource that really truly matters, your energy.
Does this sound familiar to you? You've got the perfectly color-coded calendar, a to-do list that's a mile long. Every single hour of your day is planned out, and yet you end the day feeling completely wiped out and like you got nothing done. If that's you, you're definitely not alone. And you know what? It's not your fault. You've just been playing the wrong game.
And this lays it all out. The old way, the time management myth, is all about that hustle culture, just cramming more hours into the day, which, let's be honest, only leads to burnout. The new way, the reality of energy management, is all about working with your natural rhythm to hit that peak focus and get results you can actually sustain. So let's break that down. Let's really get into why that old way, the time management trap, just isn't cutting it for us anymore. Here is the absolute core of the problem. We've been sold this idea that time is our most precious resource, that if we could just organize our 24 hours a little bit better, everything would fall into place. But that's just not true. Think about it. A perfectly planned hour with zero energy is completely useless. The real bottleneck to getting things done isn't your clock, it's your energy. This is the question that changes everything. It's a huge paradigm shift. The moment you stop asking, how can I manage my hours, and instead start asking, how can I manage my energy, that's when things really start to click. You stop obsessing over the calendar and start getting curious about what actually fuels you. And that leads us perfectly into this next part. Because if we're going to manage our energy, we first have to understand it, right? It's time to discover your own personal energy blueprint. So, what is an energy blueprint? It's just a fancy term for your body's natural rhythm, the unique way your energy rises and falls throughout the day. You've got those times when you're super alert and focused, and other times where you just hit a wall. And here's the most important thing to get. You are not a machine. You can't run at 100% all day long. You're a biological cycle, and fighting against it is just a recipe for failure. And figuring out your blueprint is actually way easier than it sounds. It literally just starts with paying attention. For just 1 week, make a simple note. When do you feel sharp? And when do you feel like you're in a fog? Then start connecting the dots with the basics. How'd you sleep? What did you eat? Stressed out? Pretty soon, a clear pattern is going to start to emerge. I promise. Okay, knowing your pattern is step one, but taking action, that's where the magic really happens. So now let's talk about how you align your actual tasks with that energy blueprint you just discovered. The strategy is dead simple. Match the task to the tank. When your energy tank is full, those peak hours you found, that's when you do the heavy lifting, the deep work, the creative projects, the really tough stuff. Then you save all the low energy stuff, clearing out your inbox, admin tasks, boring chores, for when your tank is naturally running low. And you can actively recharge your batteries throughout the day. Think of these like little power-ups. A quick walk outside, chugging a glass of water, a few deep breaths. It can make a world of difference. And remember, taking a 5-minute micro break isn't being lazy. It's a strategic move to get your focus back. Now, on the flip side, you gotta play defense against the things that suck your energy dry. And these culprits are probably gonna look pretty familiar. The constant ping of notifications, the myth that you can actually multitask, skipping lunch, and saying yes to things that you know are just gonna leave you feeling totally drained. All right, these daily tactics are powerful for sure. But to make this change actually last, you've gotta think bigger. You need to build a system that's truly sustainable for the long haul. And this quote is exactly why it's worth it. This isn't about working more. It's about making the hours you do work incredibly powerful. Just let this sink in. One single, truly focused hour can achieve more than 3 hours of being distracted. When you're working with your energy, your output just goes through the roof. Now, if you need a little motivation to protect that focus, look at this number, 20 minutes. That is how long some studies suggest it can take you to get your focus back after one single digital distraction. Like a text message. That's crazy, right? One notification can cost you almost half an hour of good, productive work. So, the keys to a system that actually lasts are simple, but that doesn't mean they're easy. You have to set firm boundaries to protect your peak energy time. You have to find the courage to say no to things that drain you. you have to be absolutely ruthless about getting rid of digital distractions. And finally, you have to accept that your system will need to change as your life changes. Which brings us to the final, and maybe the most exciting part, the payoff. What happens when you actually put this all into practice? What is the untapped potential that's just waiting there for you? Well, the result is a total game changer for how you work and live. Seriously, when you're not constantly fighting your own body, your creativity just starts to flow. Because you're making big decisions when your brain is actually firing on all cylinders, those decisions are way sharper. And maybe best of all, because you're not running on empty all the time, your stress levels just plummet. So here it is, your simple, no excuses, 7-day action plan to get started. Step 1, for the next week, just track your energy. That's it. Step 2, identify your peak hours. When are you at your absolute best? And step 3, take your number one most important task for the day and do it during that peak time. And then protect that time like it's a national treasure.
And that leaves us with one last, really powerful question. This isn't about finding more time in the day. It's about unlocking more of you. So, what incredible potential are you going to unlock when you finally start mastering your energy?